Good morning, guys. Welcome to the first vlog of 2019. We had the first video already, obviously, last week, but this is the first vlog. Today is January 2nd. It's about 8:30, and I'm in the studio. This is the first day on our regular schedule since the holidays. All of our babysitters and stuff were obviously off over the last week, so we had a quiet Christmas with my family, and yeah, basically just spent the last week hanging out as a family. We took Penelope to the Science Museum. What else did we do? Walked around. Yesterday we walked around Newberry Street and the public gardens. Went to Flower, which is one of my favorite bakeries. Yeah, nothing super exciting, just kind of hung out and had time together. So that's been really nice, and I'm also excited to get back into the studio. I will show you guys around a little bit later, but it kind of is like a bomb went off in here because I was really busy wrapping up projects right before Christmas, and I did like all of the present wrapping in here, so just a little bit chaotic. But yeah, so for this week, that is one of the things I want to do is clean up in here. I hate working in a messy space, so I like to make a mess of the space while I work, but I like it to be clean when I start. So I'll probably do that first thing, straighten up in here a bit. And then the big goal for this week, I finished up the client work. Well, I finished up one of my client projects, two of my client projects right before Christmas, and then another one I sent off the drafts, but they have a long time before they have to get back to me. So I may hear from them sooner than this, but the plan is that I'll hear from them by January 11th. So in between now and then, I actually don't have any client projects to be working on, which is great because my priority for this week and next week is to publish another Skillshare class. So I did one last month, the mixed media, the painting with mixed media, and I want to do one this month again. My plan was, so I think my first one I published was in May of 2018, and my plan had been to do one every month for the first year. I obviously missed one month. I missed October, or was it November? I missed either October or November because of Inktober. But I'm still trucking along with my goal of trying to finish one per month. So I wanted to show you guys a little bit of the behind the scenes of the planning of a class. So this week I'm going to be coming up with well, I already came up with the concept, but I'm going to be refining the concept and writing the script and coming up with like the logistics for how I will film it. And then next week I will film it and edit it, and I'm hoping to have it published somewhere between the 15th and the 20th of January. So that is the big project. And then I have other little stuff I need to do, like you probably have noticed that I have been completely MIA on social media, which wasn't a planned break, but I just needed to. So I have some work that I can share on social media. Actually, I'll share it with you guys first here. My latest illustrations came out in Milk Street magazine. Let me show you. I have this teeny tiny cute one. These are little pink peppercorns. And then I also got to do the back cover for the first time. So it's all these different spices. But anyway, these will all be, I'll be posting those on Instagram. I have a bunch of stuff, a bunch of new work that I have to put in my portfolio. I haven't updated my portfolio for a couple of months. So yeah, Skillshare class planning, cleaning the studio, updating portfolio, getting some posts out on social media. That's the general plan for this week. I do have a couple more admin type things that I have to follow up on, but that's just the general direction that we're heading. So I'm gonna clean up the studio, and then after that I will get started working on the class script. Messy, 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 messy. All right. Hey guys, it is just a few minutes after 12. I've just come downstairs to take over from the babysitter. Penny is sad because she was coloring all over different things that were not paper, so we just are taking a 2-minute break from the crayons. But she's a bit upset about that. Yeah, you'll color again after our break. So I ended up, actually, this is why you haven't heard from me all morning, I ended up just spending the whole morning cleaning up my computer and updating my portfolio. It had been a long time since I had done any kind of update, so I just had a ton of files on there that were waiting to be uploaded. And since I'm kind of at an in-between point with client projects. And you want to give me a shot? Okay, give me a shot. And I'm gonna be starting this new Skillshare class. I just wanted to like have my computer cleared out a bit. I feel like I'm always drowning in files, so it seemed like a good time to just prioritize that. And then hopefully this afternoon I will have a chance to write some of the class script. So, but I also did get an inquiry about possibly doing a pretty last minute rush packaging illustration, which would just be for presentation. So the client sounds like they want to have a few different options. They don't know for sure whether they would actually be doing a full license, like whether they'll be buying out the illustrations. So it would just be a partial fee, but they want it by the 7th. So we'll see. I have to like look carefully at that and whether I can actually do that and the Skillshare thing at the same time, because that is a priority. Well, either way, I'll let you guys know this afternoon. For now, we're gonna grab lunch and then Penny will go down for her nap around 1 as usual. I'll do some more work while she's napping as usual, and then the afternoon babysitter comes from 3 to 5. So that is where we're at. Yeah, okay, you have to hold very still. You gotta sit. You wanna hold it? Hold it from here. Yeah, hold the tripod.
Baby.
Yeah, it's Penelope.
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 Hi.
Hi. Here, let's move it a little bit further back. Yeah.
Bubble.
Yeah, that's the level.
Camera.
Camera.
What's that?
That's a tripod.
iPod.
Tripod.
iPod. Penelope.
Penelope, yeah.
What's that?
That's the lens.
Mom.
Lens.
Well, what's that?
That's the screen. That's the view screen. Who's that?
Somebody. No, here.
It's Daddy.
Hold on.
Hey guys, it is about 2:30. I am sitting on the couch trying to adjust my screen so that you can see it without too much glare. I have been just working on putting together a proposal for that packaging project, asking if they could have a longer deadline, doing all that, and finishing cleaning up my computer. The good news is my desktop is pristine and I have deleted a bunch of stuff that I didn't need. Well, not deleted, but like I moved things to my Dropbox. I have selective sync turned on, so I only have some of the things that are in my Dropbox actually synced to my desktop. So I just was moving a bunch of the stuff that I didn't need over to the archive, so it's not taking up space on my computer. I still have some more cleanup to do eventually, but I'm not going to do it right now. Right now, as you can see, I have a document open, and this is the very beginning of my Skillshare class outline. So this is going to be color mixing. So one of the questions I get a lot from you guys is asking how to basically like know which color to use and how to match the color that you see in your reference, whether it's in life or in a photo, to what you're actually making in your illustration, your piece of artwork. So I am trying to build a class around that idea, and I think right now I'm thinking I'm gonna have kind of two parts of it. Like there'll be a part that talks about the mixing color and matching color with pigment-based media, so like paints or yeah, pretty much paints like acrylic or watercolor, oil, and there are some other types of media that are pigment-based, but basically where most of them are just a single pigment instead of blends. And then I'm gonna have another section that is color mixing and matching when using blended media, so like colored pencil or lots of gouache, or what else would be, oh, markers, I guess. Other types of media that are made not just of a single pigment, but that are, most of the colors are made of multiple different pigments. So each of those have kind of like slightly different approaches, but this is the structure that I'm thinking about right now. I don't usually write the intro until, sorry, I hope the glare is not too bad, until I've gotten the rest of it filled out, because this helps me know what I want to include in the intro. But right now I'm thinking that there'll be like a color basics section, which will just cover value, saturation, warmth and coolness, and complementary colors. I've already done a video like this on YouTube. I'll try to remember to link that in the description box, but I'll go over that in depth for the first lesson, and then I'll do kind of the pitfalls, like common problems that people have with trying to create realistic color, and then how to determine the colors in your reference, and then how to mix colors, and then I'll split it out into the two different sections that I was talking about. So how to match colors that you've mixed or pre-mixed colors. So there'll be color mixing and matching with watercolor, and then color matching with colored pencils. So I hope that that differentiation makes sense. I'm mentioning it here just because I've had lots of questions on both. I've had lots of questions just in general on like how to know what color to use, but then I've had a lot of questions specifically on how to match colors with colored pencils. So I wanted to kind of split it out into those two approaches, the pigment-based and the mixes. We'll see if that works. And then tricks of the trade, and then where I'll just talk about like strategically using complementary colors, intentionally using warm and cool colors, and being aware of the different moods and feelings that color schemes can evoke. And then there will be a class project. So this is like very, very basic. This is just the initial outline. This was what the outline for the mixed media class looked like once I was finished with it. So as you can see, it gets pretty in depth. Yeah, I just really fill it out. How many pages is this? This is like 5 or 6 pages, I think. So I really try to have a pretty good sense of what I want to say in every single section. Yeah, this is all still the same lesson, so class. So that's what I will end up with. I'll end up with like a more robust version of this, but with hopefully the content that I need here. So the babysitter comes at 3, so then I will head upstairs and hopefully spend the afternoon doing this. Hey guys, I'm having a little bit of anxiety about whether this footage is going to be any good, because I took some pictures yesterday and I think I may have like messed with some of the settings on this camera, or maybe Penelope messed with some of the settings, because the pictures were all like totally grainy. So hopefully the footage is okay. I need to take a closer look at that, but I was a very bad vlogger yesterday. Today's Friday. This is Friday afternoon at like 2:30. I'm downstairs because Penelope is napping. Yeah, and I did not vlog at all yesterday. I only worked the morning yesterday because Penny and I hung out with some friends in the afternoon. But basically what I was working on, I'm gonna do my best to show this to you guys in a way that makes sense. I was just working on my Skillshare class, and you saw it when it was more or less like that really short outline. And here it is now. Now it's a 5,000 word document. And I've got it all filled out. I won't say all of this verbatim, but it just really helps keep me on track. I mean, you guys know from watching my channel that I can be quite a rambler, and sometimes it takes me a while to like work my way around to my point. So, or like I'll say the same point in a few different ways because I'm just trying to like find the perfect way to say it. So with Skillshare, you really, I think there's much more of an emphasis on being succinct. Even though you can make a longer class, like the last class I did was like a 4,000 word outline and the class was an hour. So I'm thinking if this is 5,000 words, like that means it's going to be 25% longer than the last one. And I'm actually not even finished with it yet. So basically, like I have kind of the meat of the class outlined. And up here, I don't know if you can see that, like, but I have, there's a bullet still for the intro and I haven't filled that in it yet at all. And that's because I have gotten down like all of the conceptual stuff that I definitely know I want to go over in the class. But I have to, like, each time I have to kind of think through like how am I going to do the demo. So it's not just me, because the type of stuff that I am teaching, it's not just me like sitting there talking like a sit down video. It also has demos. And for this one, I go through a lot of like the first few lessons. The first one is like color basics. So I'm gonna go over like value, saturation, hue, temperature. And then the second one, I'll go over color relationships in the color wheel. The third one, oh no, that's the third one, sorry. Technically the intro is lesson one. So lesson one's the intro, lesson two is the different aspects of color, value, hue, saturation. Number three is the color relationships in the color wheel. And number four is gonna be how to determine color in your references, whether it's like a photo or real life. And I'm gonna break that out into two different lessons. One will be on seeing value, so seeing darkness and lightness. And the other one will be on like seeing all the other aspects of color, hue, saturation, etc. And I'm gonna have demos, like kind of basic demos for each of those lessons. And then lesson 6 will be mixing colors. I'll have some demos in there as well. And then when it comes time to actually like match the colors in the reference and like kind of pull everything together and recreate the color in a painting, I feel like the best way for me to do that is going to actually be to create a painting. So I'm gonna do similar to what I did in the mixed media class. I'm gonna do one demo. The mixed media class had 2 different demos because there weren't like so many demos mixed in throughout the rest of it. So this one, since it's gonna have lots of demos throughout, I'm just gonna do one dedicated demo piece, and I'm gonna try to do like I did in that other class and keep it ideally under an hour, but we'll see. That's hard for me. So maybe an hour and a half. And I am going to like, I'll record that. And then I think what I'm going to do is record like some sit down talking head footage, and then also some voiceover footage, like explaining different concepts as I'm working on the demo. And I can't finish really writing the script until I decide what I'm going to do for the demo. And even though I know the concepts that I want to communicate in this lesson, in order for me to like be specific and actually refer to what I'm working on, I need to have done it first. So even though I have this epic 5,000 word script, I'm still not totally done with it. I am going to record the demo piece. Today's Friday, the 4th. Hopefully I'll record the demo piece on Tuesday. We'll see. I actually did end up taking on that other job. I worked it out with a client where I am going to deliver on Wednesday instead of Monday. So hopefully that will mean that I can do some Skillshare recording in the first part of the week, because that's what I've been planning for. Once I have that recorded, then I can finish up the rest of the outline, including the intro, including all the specific pieces in the demo section, and then the little wrap-up section. And I'm still trying to decide too what I want to have people do as a class project. I feel like since the class is a sort of like foundations of color for traditional artists, I feel like the expected thing is to have people make a color wheel. And I have made many a color wheel in my life, and I just don't think it's that important. I think the color wheel itself is super important, and understanding the concepts behind it and like how to use and why to use complementary color and different kinds of color relationships that you can build. I think that is really, really important, but I don't feel like you actually have to make your own color wheel to understand that. So yeah, and certainly not the kinds like, I mean, I had to make one when I was in school. No joke, it took me like 20 hours because it was a really detailed one with lots of different gradations, and I had to reproduce each color exactly, mixing it with oil paint. So I'm certainly not gonna do that to people, and I'm on the fence about like whether I should even have them make a color wheel at all. But since we're gonna be going over like a lot of what inspired this class is that I get a lot of very specific questions about like, how do you know what color, when you're looking at a color in a reference, like how do you know how to make that color in real life, like in your painting? I hope that question makes sense, but I get a version of that a lot, like basically, how do you color? So because of that, I'm trying to do it in like a very nitty-gritty specific way. So I feel like there should be some kind of exercise where like I have different reference images that I give people, and then like have them make a palette from those reference images, or like maybe match some colors from the reference. That just feels more interesting to me and less like wah than making a color wheel. So no offense to people who make color wheels in their classes. So that's one thing I'm thinking of. And then like also maybe having, of course, like a completed painting. But with Skillshare, I feel like it's helpful if you have projects that people can do at different levels, because not everybody's gonna have time to like sit down and spend several hours on a painting. Whereas a lot of people would be more apt to like spend 20 minutes doing swatches or maybe value studies. Like I might have people do that too, because there'll be a part of one of the lessons where we basically just focus on like seeing light and dark, and that is, it may not seem important to color, but like you really do have to be able to think that way as well if you want to create realistic color. So anyway, I hope this is interesting. I'm just wanting to give you guys a little bit of the behind the scenes of what goes into planning a class. So yeah, next steps are to record the demo and then finish up the script, and then I'll record the lessons and then get to editing. And then once I edit, I'm sure I'll look at the footage and realize like I need some other B-roll or need some other examples. I feel like that has happened with every class that I've made. What time is it? 2:45. So yeah, in an ideal world, I would finish with all of the filming by the end of next week. So by like the 11th, because I would really love to be able to publish this by the 18th. And I think I need like a full week for, I mean, it won't take me all of the week because I'll have other stuff that I have to do, but I need a good amount of time to do the editing, and then you have to export all the videos and upload all the videos, which takes forever on Skillshare. So that is where that is at. Hopefully I'll vlog next week too, so you guys can see some of it. Some more like having actually coming together. The other project you saw me working on, that was this client project that's gonna be due on Wednesday. I probably won't show any more of it just because I do wanna be respectful of it. But those were the early layers, just working in watercolor. And then this afternoon, I think I probably will actually just try to get some more done on that. I had thought of maybe trying to film the demo piece, but the light in the later part of the day, just because it's winter time, it is almost dark by like 3:30 and it's pitch black by 5 when I'm finishing up. So babysitter's coming in like 15 minutes, and Penny will wake up shortly, like either right around there or shortly after. So I'll transition to the studio, probably do a little bit more drawing. I do have some email and admin stuff that I, as usual, have been pushing off until the end of the week. So I might do that as well. I'm not sure if I'm gonna wrap it up here or not. We'll see. Hey guys, it is about 6:30, 6:20. I am just jumping back in the studio. Eric is with Penelope right now giving her a bath. I realized I forgot to officially wrap things up earlier. I just worked in here for a couple hours when the babysitter was downstairs. I did exactly what I was planning on doing. I drew a little bit and then did some admin. I still have some more admin I'll probably try to get to tonight while I'm on the couch. Yeah, and then the plan is to vlog next week as well, so you can see more behind the scenes of the class development. Let me know if that is interesting to you guys, and since we're doing the whole wrap-up thing, you can, as usual, post any comments or questions. I will do my best to respond. I am already like super behind on comments, but I read everything that you guys respond. I read everything that you guys write. and I try to respond whenever I can. And I so appreciate all of your comments and all of the nice things you say. It's just always like one of the best parts of my day, reading those. So thank you to my patrons for supporting this channel and making this video possible. I need to do a new patron shout out next week. I gotta give myself a reminder to do that. And thank you to Meg for the editing, and all of you, of course, for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope there was some interesting behind the scenes stuff, and I will see you next week. Bye guys.